Well, good evening there, race fans of the internet. Welcome back to another Talking Dirt Television feature presentation. Tonight, we bring you night number 2 of the 2023 DOB Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals live from the Knoxville Raceway here in beautiful Knoxville, Iowa. It's been a while, I know, since we've covered any DOB here. They stepped in and asked us to come cover night 2 of their 410 Nationals. And, of course, I am here, your host, Mr. Ryan Williams, joining me tonight to provide a little color commentary, the normal voice of the Talking Dirt podcast, as well as my co-host on all of these broadcasts, Mr. Matt Pridge. And Matt, welcome back. Welcome to Knoxville, Iowa, and welcome to a jam-packed night of sprint car racing here with these DOB 410 sprint cars. I believe we've got, 38, 39 entries here tonight. A lot of really, really heavy hitters here gunning to make that a main event on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, pretty excited to be back on the sprint car scene here with the dirty old bastards racing here. So glad to be back on the call here at the nice Knoxville Speedway. I'm not too sure who all was with me here, but I originally thought it was in Tennessee and didn't know it was in Iowa until about a year or two ago.
Wow. Man, oh
yeah.
man. Well, I'm not going to say that I was never there because I was obviously there at one point or another, but definitely in Knoxville, Iowa, and the sprint car capital of the world at that, and that's where we're at tonight for night number 2. Quick rundown. So here's what happened on night number 1. Currently, Aiden Beerline is the top guy in points. Points collected through qualifying, heat races, and main events. His current point total is 498. Tyler Schell is currently sitting second in points. Gregory Lamy, Chad Griggs, and Vinny Sansone round out the top 5 there in points for the entire deal right now. And here's how it breaks down a little bit. The points, that is. Here's how it kind of breaks down. If I can pull it back up. Here we go. So your first place guy in qualifying, he will receive 100 points, or 200 points, excuse me. Second place, 198. Third place, 196. So forth and so on all the way back. And then your winner of a heat race will receive 100 points towards his standings in the entire series. Second place, 97. Third, 94th. It's a 3-point drop-off all the way back. Same thing for the C mains. Same thing for the B mains. And then, obviously, your A-main event, which will be 25 laps here later on this evening. I believe they're doing a little bit of a driver's meeting right now, trying to go over groups. So we're just going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what has been happening. Of course, it wasn't a perfect score last night for Aiden Beerline as he lost to Tyler Schell on a late restart. So Tyler Schell, a guy that we saw here on TDTV a few months back, actually racing. I want to say the last thing we saw him in, Matt, we did a lot of sprint car stuff for these guys as well as some big block modified stuff. And he was a really, really heavy hitter and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's good to see Tyler Schell back up there. He got a really good run last night. Of course, last night's total cars was 38. Beerline won Heat 1. Braden Dyler won Heat 2. Andrew May won Heat 3. And then Ernie Williams and Kenny Hoffman transferred in through the C and B mains. And then they had 2 different leaders, 1 lead change, and about a half a second margin of victory for Tyler Schell over Beerline, Bradley Cox, Sansone, and Chad Griggs. And then, of course, the top 16 after tonight, taken in yesterday and today, transfer into the big main event on tomorrow night. Excuse me. Actually, Matt, I might be wrong here. It's a lot of information. I know we're stepping in. I'm stepping in on a day's notice, so y'all forgive me if I'm wrong about any of this stuff. But just reading through what has been said over me by race director Chris Roberts, I believe top 16 lock into the big main event on Thursday, and everybody else will have to try and race their way in through Hard Knocks night, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, which will be broadcasted elsewhere. But Matt and I are going to have some fun here tonight, and Matt, we've seen a lot of Knoxville Raceway on this channel, but never anything like this with 38 drivers gunning to make one of the biggest DOB sprint car races of the year. I am very excited to see what some of these guys have in store for us here. Just some big names signed in already that I'm seeing. Just going from the top of the list down, Austin O'Neill, Justin Zapatosny, who we saw in multiple DOB series in the past. Josh Whiteman signed in, Casey Miller, Josh Piquel, Patrick Spangler signed in here, Preston Dalton, and a few guys, a few more guys that we don't know signed in. Of course, Clayton Kincart, a lot of guys we don't know actually as I'm looking through this list here. But let's bring up, Matt, the practice results and kind of show everybody what went on over in practice. Of course, in practice, it was, let's see here, if we can pull it up the top time. Yep, Sean English, a 14-1 here at Knoxville. And it was Josh Berkey, Chance Saskowski, Darren Detweiler, Matt Grimm rounded out the top 5 here. So, Matt, these 410s absolutely ripping at Knoxville right now, as I believe we still are awaiting the start of qualifying, as our first couple of cars are on the speedway here. Let's actually go down, take the cameras on, and watch some of these guys as they start to run through qualifying. Sorry to cut you off a lot here, Matt. Just a lot of stuff happening for me really, really fast here. But if you got anything to say, go ahead, man, as we begin qualifying efforts tonight at Knoxville.
I mean, there you pretty much got everything covered. Just like I said earlier, like, watching these races here at the Knoxville Speedway. This is big track, and these cars get such high speeds, and they're so light, nimble, and aero dependent. And it's entertaining to watch these things go wheel to wheel going into the corner at 140 miles per hour. So it's definitely going to be some interesting racing tonight. I know these guys are going to put on an absolute heck of a show.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, these guys are gunning to make that big main event here on Thursday night, as we've got even more guys on the speedway here. Craig Silby now on the speedway. The young Australian driver there.
He'll be choosing to run the high side around turns, I believe that was 1 and 2 there, and he's going to run the slider line in 3 and 4. Out on his, I guess, final lap, he's going to turn out to be a 15.8, which is going to put him in the 3rd position. So far, Christopher Lynn in the 32 machine. Quick time so far with a 15.7. Christopher Moret in second. Was in second, now in 3rd with a 15.7. Joshua Berkey, who's on the track now, pumped out a 7.47 to put him in. Actually tied for the lead there. Coming around on his last laps. Well, nope, looks like he's going to pull down and maybe completed all his laps here.
Now, excuse me there for a minute. I was sitting here trying to figure out exactly what I was doing with this overlay, trying to get it pulled up and ready, as we'll go ahead and throw the overlay on top of it there, as we're watching Zach Dykstra on the speedway right now. I believe Matt Grimm entering the track as well. So Dykstra lap number 1 was good enough for 5th here, 15.86 for Dykstra. Lap 2, not quite as good. Here's Matt Grimm, his first time around. Matt Grimm, where's he going to end up after lap number 1? Hasn't come through just yet, just now taking his green flag. I believe the next guy to come out is going to be Kevin Click. Grimm lap number 1. For the number 91, 6th quick for Matt Grimm, 15.87 for the number 91 machine, the United States driver. Let's go back now and watch Kevin Click as he enters onto the speedway. It looks like he'll come around and get his green flag. Lap number 2 for Grimm. Not quite as good. He will stick it In the, I believe, 6th position for right now is Matt Grimm. Kevin Click, a guy that Matt and I have watched for quite a while here with DOB, whether it be the 360s, 410s, or the big block modifieds. He's out on the speedway now. 8th driver to take a time, and Click will clock it in lap number 1. 6 quick, Matt. These guys, nobody has anything for Christopher Lind right now, who's sitting up there with a 15.74.
Yeah, most of them running similar lines here, so the times are pretty tight here. But just, some of these guys, I guess, just able to throttle feather the throttle a little bit better through the corners here. So that's Kevin Click's going to end up. So far, he's going to end up in the 4th position with that last lap time he put out.
Absolutely. Next guy out, Ryan Scheidt in the 10 machine. Ryan Scheidt in the number 10. As he works on lap number 1. Actually, lap number 2, excuse me. Scheidt, quick time on lap 1. 15.7. 3 for Ryan Scheidt. He'll go top time over to Lynn. Let's see if he's any faster on the second lap. Lap number 2. Another 15.72 there for Ryan Scheidt as we now jump over to Justin Zapatoxny in the 3Z machine as he'll sail down the back straightaway here. Now chasing that 15.71 out of Ryan Scheidt. Zapatoxny working through turns 3 and 4 on the high side of the speedway. Lap 1, Justin Z. 10th quick out of 10 cars for Justin Z on lap number 1. Here, Matt, is he's looking good down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 this time. So he'll come across. Let's see if he'll do better than the 16.08. Not quite. It doesn't look like he will clock in 16.09 or 16.31 on his second lap here. That will be Justin Zapatoxny. Looks like Josh Whiteman on the speedway now, Matt, as he goes down the back straightaway here on lap number 1.
Getting that right rear right up on the edge of the wall in turns 3 and 4. And now he's in turns 3 and 4, coming down the front straightaway. He's going to get a time of a 15.7. That is going to put him at 4th quick so far.
Yeah, looks like you're a little bit behind there, Matt, as he's already completed his second lap here. He'll go 2nd quick. Had a best time of 15.74, I believe his best time. He'll go 2nd quick to Scheidt. So it's Scheidt, Whiteman, Lynn, Berkey, and Moret, your top 5. Next car on the track will be Casey Miller in the 05 machine as he works down the back straightaway out of turn number 4 this time. Of course, Casey Miller out of York Haven, Pennsylvania.
Kind of looked like he caught the wall a little bit coming out of 2 there. Not sure if that's going to discredit the lap or not, but looks like it did not, and that is going to put him at 5th quick there for the 05 Casey Miller. Now we have the 33 machine, Joshua Piquel, out here to turn his few qualifying laps. First lap is a 15.8. That puts him at 11th quick so far. Crosses the line for his second and final lap. Not going to pick up any, but he's, right there with that first lap, so he's pretty consistent there. So 11th quick for Piquel.
Absolutely. You excuse me, man. I'm just trying to change around some stuff here to make everything a little bit better for the viewer watching at home. Of course, we appreciate everybody for tuning in here tonight to TDTV. As we just saw Piquel on the speedway, I believe Alex Bergeron out there now in the 112 machine. Bergeron currently sits at the top of the leaderboard, 15.64 for Alex A. Bergeron. The Canadian driver, he'll come across the start-finish stripe on his second lap. Lap number 2 going to be 15.65, just slower than his 15.64 that puts him atop of the board. Next driver out, Brad Lamberson in car number 27. He'll work down the back straightaway for the first of his 2 laps here, does Brad Lamberson. Off into turns 3 and 4, out of turn number 4. Lap 1 for the 27 machine. Let's see where he'll pop up. 14th quick for Lamberson. He'll jump in 15.99 on lap number 1 for Brad Lamberson down the back straightaway now into lap number 2 into turns 3 and 4. Looking good right up against that cushion. Down the front stretch for the 27 machine. He will cross a little bit better. 15.90 will move him up 1 spot. 13th quick now for Brad Lamberson as we've worked through about half of the drivers taking a time here. Next driver out, Chance Siskowski. Oh, man. This one's throwing me for a loop, man. I believe that'll be Chance Siskowski in car number 47 here as he'll work down the front straightaway on his first of 2 laps. Siskowski will go, I believe, 15th on lap 1, 15.96 for the number 47. That'll be 15th for Siskowski as we work through the 15th qualifier down the front straightaway for the final time for the number 47. Will improve him a few spots here. 15.86 will put him in the top 10. It'll put him in the top 10. Time to beat right now, still a 15.64 by young Alex Bergeron. Dakota Kuhn now out, Matt, here in the number 95 machine.
Kuhn coming around turns 3 and 4 to complete his first qualifying lap. Going to turn out a 16.1 there. Going to be 17th quick, hard in the wall, like you said, in turn 2. So I think that might nullify his second qualifying lap here. So a 16.1 for Dakota Kuhn will put him in 17th.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Unfortunate there for Dakota Kuhn as he will end up 17th. Next car out, Sean English, car number 60 here as we follow along with the TDTV hard cam. As English works through turns 3 and 4 here, coming to complete his first of 2 laps. Looking to beat a 15.6 for Alex Bergeron. He'll go 15.8 on lap number 1. That'll be 8th quick for the car number 60 as he works down the back chute here for the final time. Off into turns 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, looking good for Sean English. Here on lap number 2, will he improve? Doesn't look like it. 15.8 his last time by. It's an improvement, but not good enough to take the 7th spot away from Christopher Moret. We now join Jack Young here on the front straightaway, Matt, as he takes his green flag.
Up into turn 2 there. Not sure if he got into the wall. I was kind of late on switching the cameras around. But man, oh man, are they getting ever so close to that wall as he completes his first lap.
Yeah, didn't come through, hit that wall over in turn number 1.
Yeah, he got the wall there, so first lap didn't count. Coming around turns 3 and 4 to complete the second lap. Will he be able to put it up top? 15.8. That'll put Jack Young in the 12th position.
Absolutely. Now we join Joshua Cotton over in turns 1 and 2. Just now took his green flag. The number 87 machine, multiple wins with the DOB sprint cars over the years. Looking to take it into the A-main event on Thursday night here. Remember, top 16 after tonight's event lock in. Lap 1 for Josh Cotton here in the number 87. 18th quick on lap number 1, 16.03 for Joshua Cotton. Track starting to slow down ever so slightly here. Ever so slightly. It starts to slow down as Cotton works through turns 3 and 4 here on the second and final qualifying lap. And it looks like he will tap the wall there, not get a lap time for lap number 2, 15.97. His best lap as we go over to Dustin Sargent over in turn number 2, Matt.
And wide off of turn 2, going to roll through the slider line low into 3, Alpha 4. He may have caught the wall there. No, looks like he's going to run a 16 flat, and that'll put him in the 19th position. It's a little better coming out of 2 there, going into 3 a little better as well. Coming around to complete his second lap. He's going to improve just a little bit, but not enough to move him up any. So 19th position for the 77 machine of Dustin Sargent.
Absolutely. Good 19th spot there for Dustin Sargent right now as we join Jimmy Barr, the Danville, Pennsylvania native, as he works on lap number 1 of 2. It's still Alex Bergeron, the only pro driver in this session. So he currently sits atop the leaderboard, 15.6 for Alex Bergeron. Barr on lap number 1, looking good. But remember, this track is starting to slow down pretty heavily. Lap 1 for Barr, 22nd quick. Posting a 16.16 even for Barr here in the number 12 machine. So work through 3 and 4 for the final time in qualifying. And he will clock it on lap 2. I believe got into the wall there coming to take the checkers. So that lap will not count, Matt, as we join Double D, Darren Detweiler, over in turn number 2.
Coming into turn 3, he's going to change it up a little bit than everybody else. Everybody's running that slider line. He's going to enter high, out high to complete his first lap, and that is going to be a solid lap of a 15.96, and that's going to put him in the 18th position on his first lap. Going to switch it up again and run that little slider line. Got the right rear on the cushion. Going to get that drive off of turn 4. And it looks like he is going to improve all the way up to the 10th position with a 18.85 or a 15.885, excuse me.
Absolutely, 15.85 there for Double D as we head towards JD Myers in the 021 machine out of York, Pennsylvania, as he'll work off turn number 4 here, coming to take lap number 1. JD Myers, 24th on lap 1, 16.29 for the number 21 machine, as he'll work down the back chute here for the final time. Into turn 3 and 4, and out there for that beautiful number 21 machine, 24th on lap number 2 as well. He slows it down just a hair as we head over to join Spencer Putney in the 217 over in turn number 2, Matt.
Going to enter turn 3 high here. Going to run up against the wall. Lead his first lap. Going to be 20th quick with a 15.992. And like you said earlier, the track's starting to slow down here a little bit. So change the lineup just ever so slightly on lap 2. Gonna just improve one position to put him in the 19th spot.
Absolutely. Putney goes 19th quick. 25 cars have taken a time so far. Let's see here who the next guy out will be. I believe it'll be Patrick Spangler in the number 28 out of Tip City, Ohio. And so work down into turns 1 and 2 here on lap number 2. Lap 1 was good enough for 18th for Spangler. 15.91 for the number 28 machine, as he will work on lap number 2 here over in turns 3 and 4 down the front straight for the final time for the number 39. It will not be an improvement. 15.92 there on lap 2. He'll clock in 15.91. Good enough for 18th right now as we head over to look at Preston Dalton over in turn number 2, Matt.
Dalton gonna run up there beside the wall, complete lap number 1. Gonna go 23rd there with that lap time of a 16.03. He's gonna swing in low coming off of 4 there.
Yeah, he was looking for something. He didn't find it, but
he was searching. He didn't find nothing, but hey, man, I commend it to him. He's looking for something.
Absolutely. His second lap was a 16.10. Sticks at 23rd quick. Here, Michael Sheridan over in turn number 2 here out of Farmington. He'll work into turns 3 and 4 for his first of 2 laps there in the number 15 machine, a guy that we've seen a lot here on TDTV in the past watching DOB. Sheridan off turn number 4 for the first time. Let's see where the 15 ends up. 19th quick into the top 20 now for Michael Sheridan. Good lap for as heat up as this track is right now. So he works down the backstretch for the final time here. Looking for checkers off turn number 4. The Jeremy Zarfos photography entry will clock it in, I believe. Wow, all the way into the top 6 for Michael Sheridan. How about that? A 15.77.
He just shut us up about that line off of turn 4.
He shut us up about that and that the track was going away because he clocks it in 7th or 6th, actually. Excuse my French. 6th quick now for Michael Sheridan. As now we look on with Julian Valadez out of Terre Haute, Indiana. He is a 17-year-old driver in the number 171. Lap 1, 18th quick for Valadez, 15.89 on the timesheet for the 171. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Let's see if he can follow Sheridan up and gain some spots. Not quite. It'll be a 16.2 to round it out now as we go over and look at Tyler Isley out of Raymond, Ohio. He's over in turn 2 where Matt is.
And now Isley entering the turn 3, gonna enter up high and kind of swing it down low. Gonna kind of run that line that everybody's been run. The last few people have been running. It's been pretty good. That's gonna put him in 27th with a 16.1. Choose to run a similar line, just about a car width lower. Going complete lap 2, going to improve just a little bit, but not enough to improve position.
Absolutely. We'll switch
27th for Isley.
Yeah, we'll switch the cameras over. Brian Moore Jr., the next car out here in the McDonald's colored number 09 machinist. He'll work over in 3 and 4. Good looking lap number 1 here for Brian Moore. Time to beat still a 15.64 out of Alex Bergeron. Moore on lap number 1. Going to jump it in 25th on the timesheet. Again, 25th, 16.01 for Brian Moore. 16.01 seconds there on lap number 1 as he works through 3 and 4 for the final time here at the Knoxville Raceway. And lap number 2 will not improve. He'll go 16.29 as we head over to Cameron Pritchard, who is in turn number 2.
Pritchard getting that drive off of turn 2. Swing it around turns 3 and 4 to complete his first lap. A little bit of squirrely there, a little off of 4. Nice lap, a 15.9. Going to put him in 24th position so far. Looks like he is going to run slightly lower in 3 and 4. And he's not going to improve on time there, so 24th for Pritchard.
And we'll join Clayton Kincart there as he works into his first of 2 laps. And car number 177 at 77 on the car, 177 on your lifetime against scoring here. So he'll work through turns 3 and 4. Keep it off that wall here at the Knoxville Raceway as he'll come across. Lap 1 for Clayton Kincart, 21st, 15.93, 15.93 seconds for Clayton Kincart as he works into turn 3 for the final time here. Slider line up towards the wall. Keep it out of the berm. He will, and he'll come across on lap number 2. Will it be any faster? Yes, it will. 15.85 puts him up to 12th here for Clayton Kincart. Good lap number 2 as we go over to Chris Fritz, who is in turn number 2.
Fritz going to bring it around 3 and 4 to complete its first lap. 16.1. That is going to put him in the 31st position. Similar line for his second qualifying lap. He's going to improve by a couple tenths here, so 15.9. That will put Fritz in the 24th spot.
And then we'll move on over to Derek Petiti out of Placerville, California, here in the number 14 machine. TGR up on the wing there. He'll come out of turn number 4 here. Different line than anybody else has been running right now for the number 14 of Petiti. And lap number 1, good for 27th. 16 flat for the number 14 here as he'll work down the back chute for the final time here at the Knoxville Raceway, right in the middle of the speedway. Off turn number 4, the number 14 of Petiti will clock it in, I believe, a little bit faster on lap 2. Yes, he will. 15.95 puts him 22nd with just a handful of drivers left to qualify here, Matt, as we go over to Nicholas McGeethy in turn number 2.
McGeethy sporting the blue wheels here. Looking good out there. Ride that cushion coming off of turn 4 to complete his first lap. Going to be a 16.19 and going to be 35th for McGeethy on lap 1. He's going to run kind of a slider line here, kind of opposite of what's been looking fast here. So slight improvement here for McGeethy on lap 2. It's going to put him in the 31st position.
Absolutely will. McGeethy in 31st. Let's go over now to Kevin Fry in the 38 machine. Actually, it'll be 21 on the car, looks like. So he's got CarQuest up on the wing as he'll work off turn number 4 here for the first time of 2. As you currently see it, quick time still Alex Bergeron, as it looks like Fry going to go 33rd on lap number 1. as he'll work through lap number 2. Across the time toss the, man, I cannot speak tonight. Across the timing loop, 16:01 for Kevin Fry as we head over to Nathan Brown, car number 35, over in turn number 2.
Brown coming around to complete lap number 1. Going to be a 16.219. Going to put him in the 37th position. Going to run a similar line for lap 2. No improvement on lap 2 for Nathan Brown, so 37th for him.
See, I believe just a couple of cars left to qualify here. As we had Brown on the speedway, I believe Jeff Creamer going to be the next driver out. Here in car number 40. As he will work down into turns 3 and 4, coming to take the green flag this time. I believe Austin O'Neill, the only other driver that hasn't taken a time here. 40 cars signed in tonight, looking to gain some points to make it into Thursday's big show here with the DOB 410 Sprints. Lap 1 for Creamer, 22nd for the number 40 machine. Again, 22nd for Creamer as he's looking good here on lap 2 over into turns 3 and 4. For the final time off turn number 4, Jeff Creamer. See if he'll pick it up at all. Lap 2, good enough for 13th. How about that? 15.86 for Jeff Creamer as he'll go into the top 15, into 13th with just one car remaining to take a time here if Austin O'Neill is able to get onto the speedway. Not really looking likely for Austin O'Neill there as he hasn't entered the speedway just yet, but let's just run down what we have gotten so far. Right now, Matt, it is Alex Bergeron atop the time chart, 15.64 seconds. Ryan Scheid is second. Josh Whiteman third. Chris Lynn fourth. And Josh Berkey rounding out the top 5 there. Your best time is a 15.64. Your slowest right now is a 16.29. So still a pretty good split between these guys here. Just, I want to say, what, 6/10 between your first and 39th place guys. As that just goes to show you, this competition level is pretty darn close, if you would ask me, with everybody, I believe, that is going to take a time now, having taken a time, as we get set to load up the first heat race of the night. Believe it'll be top 8 invert here, 10 lap heat race, and I believe we will have 5 heat races set to go as we look at heat race number 1, given that top 8 invert. Starting on the inside of row number 1 will be Dustin Sargent in car number 77, Outside row number 1 will be the 217 of Spencer Putney. Inside row number 2, it'll be the 27 of Brad Lamberson. Outside row 2 will be Zach Dykstra, and I believe the number 19. Inside row 3, would be Jeff Creamer. Man, I'm all over the place here, Matt. You're gonna have to save me tonight. Sean English starts 6th. Josh Berkey starts 7th. Alex Bergeron, after that top 8 invert, will start 8th. Nicholas McGeethy will start 9th. Jimmy Barr will round it out in 10th for the start here for heat race number 1.
I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but there is a top 4 transfer, and then the rest will go to either a C main or a B main.
Absolutely, yeah. Top 4 will transfer into the show here. And then we should have a C main and a B main tonight, as well as your 25 lap main event, as Dustin Sargent has the field there on turn number 4 as we come around to get the 1 to go to green this time here. Your first taste of heat racing action of the night, live on Talking Dirt TV here with the DOB 410 sprints for night number 2 of the Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals, live from the Knoxville Raceway here in Knoxville, Iowa, as the lights are out atop the iRacing Pace truck. Again, point man Dustin Sargent, Spencer Putney starts second, Brad Lamberson third, Zach Dykstra, Jeff Creamer, Sean Inglis, Josh Berkey, Alex Bergeron, Nicholas McGeethy, and Jimmy Barr get set to come to green out of turn number 4.
Dustin Sargent gonna hit the loud pedal and get off to an amazing start here. He's gonna get about a 4-car length lead here over Spencer Putney. Come around to complete lap 1. Getting a little bit of side-by-side action here. These guys almost going 3 wide for second.
Absolutely are, Matt, as they all work through the top. Let's take it up to the big cameras up top to see some of this action as Alex Bergeron starts to move through the pack here. He's +3 so far, started 8th, up to 5th. That 4th and final transfer spot right now is Spencer Putney running around the middle of the speedway there in the car number 17. Now Bergeron will blast around him on the outside, move Alex Bergeron into a top 4 transfer spot. English in third, Dykstra in second, Chase and Dustin Sargent as they come to complete this lap. It'll be 7 to go this time by at the line.
Yeah, Bergeron saw a hole there and took it. Now Sargent gonna reclaim the lead coming off of turn 2 there. With Sean English. Contact there. Oh, caution flag will fly. That collected a lot of your front runners here. Bergeron, his amazing run has come to a yeah, it looks like he's gonna tow there, so it looks like he's gonna come to an end for his heat race.
Yeah, Bergeron in the pits, Sargent in the pits. So these guys may have to do it the hard way a little bit later. It looks to me like Josh Berkey, let's see here, who's going to be your race leader? Sean English looks like he will attain the race lead. Creamer is up there on the top like he's going to be in second, but we're going to have to give it a second here to get this lineup situated, because I do know your guys involved. Obviously, Sargent, Bergeron was in there. Multiple other drivers got into the mix. I want to say Dykstra caught a piece of it, as he's got a lot of damage on the number 19. So, yeah, definitely Zach Dykstra caught a big piece of whatever transpired there over in turn number 3. And, of course, it ended up with Dustin Sargent flipping violently multiple times here in heat race number 1. As we look back up front, English will be your leader. Putney will be second. Creamer third. As you even look there, Matt, Spencer Putney, a lot of damage on the number 17, excuse me. As Brad Lamberson, no damage on the 27. Jimmy Barr, no damage on the 12. Berkey, minimal, if any, on the 39. And then all the way back, of course, Dykstra had, let's see, no damage on the 19. It doesn't look like from this vantage point. So it looks like we'll get them stacked, packed, and ready to go once again as we look to see what happened to Spencer Putney as he came down to get some damage repair, and he'll rejoin the field at the tail end here as Sean English leads us around here at Knoxville under the yellow flag here for the first time in heat race number 1.
Pace truck's going to pull in. Now it is all up to Sean English here. He's going to hit the loud pedal and get off to a great start. He's going to run that high side up into 1 and 2 and come out on top coming out of turn 2.
Watch this 12 machine right now, Matt. Bergeron is back on the speedway. Remember, he went from 8th up to 3rd at one point, and now he's just got 5 laps to try and get back into the top 4 to make tonight's A-main event as he works on the 173 machine. Now the 18. Bergeron pulling out all the stops. The pro driver showing off why he's got the black bumper. Back up front, Sean English into the wall. Here comes the 11 of Creamer. English into the wall hard there in turn number 2. He's able to keep up the momentum somehow as Lamberson rides in third. Barr in the final transfer spot. Alex Bergeron still trying to make something happen with just 3 laps to go, Matt.
Yeah, I kept my eyes on Bergeron. He got a little bit into the wall there a while ago, so kind of killed a little bit of his momentum up into the 7th position, trying to get his way around Joshua Berkey. As he gets onto his inside, he's going to dive down, slide job into turn 1. And it's going to hold on to it. He's going to be able to hold on to the position. Berkey not able to cross over.
So as we look back up front just a little ways, Barr in the 4th and final transfer spot, as he will be way down the speedway. Dykstra with a chance here on the final lap of this heat race as he'll look down low here as we get into turns 3 and 4. Slide job attempt by the 18. There's contact, sends the 12 into the wall. Who's it going to be at the line? It's going to be, I believe, Jimmy Barr. Wow, what a race.
0.005.
Holy cow.
Separates. That's got to be the closest split we have seen.
And that was for the 4th and final transfer spot. Sean English wins. Creamer, Lamberson, and Barr all to the A-main event. Dykstra, Bergeron, Berkey, McGeethy, Putney, and Sargent will have to go to a B-main later in the night. What a heat race number 1 we just saw here on TDTV. As we look at B-main heat race number 2, excuse me. Man, I am all over the place. I apologize, guys out there. I know I took this kind of on a last-minute notice, but I should be better than this, and I'll promise I'll try and get better as the night goes on here. As we look at heat race number 2, Brian Moore Jr. will start on the pole there in car number 09. Chris Fitz will start second in the 65. Row number 2 inside will be Patrick Spangler in the 28. Outside will be Matt Grimm in the number 91. Row 3 will be Craig Silby and Kevin Klink. Row 4, Michael Sheridan and Ryan Scheidt. And row 5, Justin Zapatosny and Nathan Brown as these drivers take to the speedway here. Matt, good looking heat race number 2. As we look on them from afar here at this beautiful raceway here in Doxville, Iowa, one of the finest dirt racing setups in all the land, man. Of course, home to the Knoxville Nationals in the sprint car ranks. Of course, some big late model races there as well coming up here later in the year for some of those big real life series. A bunch of big iRacing events coming up here soon as well, but the biggest of them all right here with the DOB 410 sprint cars. As we look down at your starting field here as we get set to come to a green flag with this field led by Brian Moore Jr. in car number 09.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, iRacing special events here this weekend. So a lot of racing going on at the Knoxville Speedway this week. The pace truck, should I say, is going to dip off here. It's all up to Brian Morris. He's going to get off to a start coming off of 4. Slide it up into the top, went off of turn 2. Looks like Chris Fritz is going to make his way up into the 3rd position there off of there. Oh, 2nd place. Matt Grimm into the wall is going to give it up. Or, excuse me, Fritz into the wall is going to give that 2nd position up to Matt Grimm. Full contact there. Oh, I didn't catch the numbers, but a little bit of a right rear from... I think that might have been Sylvia. It might have to go back and look at that. No caution. We are going to stay green on the track with Brian Moore Jr. still leading this race. Grimm 2nd, Fritz 3rd, Sylvia in the final transfer spot. Of Michael Sheridan hunting down Sylvie currently. Game position to get an attempt to get into that final spot. Grimm closing in on your leader. He's going to throw a slide job into turn number 1. And he's going to be able to hold the position coming off of turn 2. Brian Moore Jr. going to settle into 2nd position. Going to swing a low coming off of 4. He'll be closing up on the 65 of Fritz there. Fritz going to have a better run. He still be going to run that slider line. Turns 3 and 4. Not sure if these guys are running mirrors, but if they are, he sees he's got a little bit of breathing room as the 65 of Chris Fritz is going to try to throw a slide job here, but going to think about that twice. And then he's going to throw it down into turn one and claim that second position over Brian Moore Jr.
Keep it going, Matt. You've been doing this whole race. I was just going to let you finish it out as we take the white flag. Matt Grimm, the leader. Fritz, second. Moore, third. Silby, the final transfer spot. Michael Sheridan trying to get it away from him here as we'll go into the final corner of the last lap. He's going to be way up top as it looked like Moore went down to the bottom. This is going to be weird coming across the line. Brian Moore going to have the third spot. Matt Grimm gonna win it here. Fritz second, Moore third. Silby the final transfer. Then it's Sheridan, Scheidt, Click, Brown, and Justin Z rounding out the field. Patrick Spangler did not finish the race. As we look at heat race number 3 here, Kevin Fry, the pole man. Joshua Cotton will start second. Derek Petiti will start in the third spot. Josh Paquel will start fourth. Chance Saskowski will start in fifth. Darren Detweiler sixth. Casey Miller seventh. Josh Whiteman eighth. Tyler Eisley ninth. And J.D. Myers will start from the 10th and final position here in heat race number 3, Matt. As we look down over the field who enter onto the speedway. Looks like we will have to come around, take that one to go to green before we are able to start this race here. So far, Matt, 2 exceptional heat races, although it did look like the track starting to get locked down right around the top as there in heat race number 2. Not as much 2 and 3 wide racing action, but here in heat number 3, all that can be thrown to the wayside as some of these guys towards the back, really good qualifiers earlier on that'll be looking to get into that top 4 to make tonight's A main, which currently starting in 4th, that final transfer spot will be Joshua Paquel, a guy that you and I have come to know very well over these past couple of years. Let's see if he is able to pick up a couple of spots here and get a good starting position for tonight's 25-lap A main.
Yeah, and like you said, the track's starting to get locked up at the top, and these guys aren't really able to run side by side, so a lot of slide jobs being thrown here, so things may start to get a little dicey.
And I fully expect this track to kind of change around just a little bit before tonight's A main and really end up having multiple racing grooves as the green flag flies as Kevin Fry is on the loud pedal. He'll race us down into turns 1 and 2 here. Petiti and Cotton go to battle for second. We got them locked up. I believe that was Miller on the, or I believe that was Whiteman on the bottom there. As Saskowski will go 3 wide here on the inside of Detweiler and Paquel. Saskowski still on the bottom here, Matt, as we head into lap number 2.
4 wide, almost 5 wide coming out of turn 2. Detweiler in the middle there, nowhere to go as he gets stuffed in between.
What did I tell you about the bottom? What did I tell you about the bottom, Matt? As we saw Chance Saskowski on the bottom there in turn number 3, just drive through about 6 cars to get to the lead as he leads now by half a second over Fry, who's got his hands full with Whiteman and Miller.
3 wide off of turn 4. Whiteman, Miller, and Fry. It gets a little dicey coming out of 4. Kevin Fry falling back to the 6th position.
Yeah, these guys kind of bouncing off of each other right now, Matt, as we got 2 tangled up. Detweiler and Paquel. Detweiler, hold on to it, big boy. He will. He'll stay in the 7th spot. Back up to the top 4. Petiti, Miller up to 3rd. Whiteman in 2nd. Saskowski leads here at Knoxville with 6 laps to go. Make it 5 this time by at the line here in heat race number 3. As Whiteman going to go down to up on the top, Miller on the bottom trying to throw the slide job for second. Nothing happening as they have caught your leader, Chance Saskowski. Saskowski in the middle of the speedway trying to hold off a charging Whiteman. There's contact by your top 2 here. As Miller's on the bottom, he'll look for the slider for the lead.
Siskowski able to keep the lead off of turn 4 as he's going to throw the slider line in to turn 3. Whiteman with a little bit of a run there.
Miller got a heck of a run too, Matt.
Almost some contact there between Miller and Whiteman. Is Whiteman going to choose the bottom in turns 3 and 4? Siskowski still with the lead. Whiteman slide job
here comes Miller.
1. And then here comes Miller out of nowhere and slider up into turn 3 as he's going to claim the lead.
Come on, Matt, let's get excited here. This heat race number 3 is really proving that this track has come back to us as Whiteman has the lead. Miller on the top. What a run out of the 05 here on the white flag lap. Watch Siskowski. He's going to dive bomb it through the corner. Up front, Whiteman, your leader. He'll take out Miller for second as Whiteman wins. Whiteman wins. Isley will take second. Siskowski will salvage third. Oh, my goodness. Darren Detweiler from the outhouse to the penthouse somehow, some way qualifies for tonight's A main event as he will finish in the 4th spot. And I have got to pull up the final results there from Heat 3 because that finish was as exciting as they come. But boy, does that suck for Casey Miller as he dove it in there, man. Those guys were racing hard. And unfortunate there for Miller. Siskowski salvaged third. Detweiler, the 4th and final transfer. Fry, Cotton, Piquel, Myers, Miller, and Petiti will all have to go to the C and B mains. Man, you hate to see it, but you love to see a finish like that. As we get set here for the 4th heat race of the night, Preston Dalton, the pole man. Cameron Pritchard starts 2nd. Matt Westfall 3rd. Julian Valadez 4th. Jack Young will start 5th. Clayton Kincart will start 6th. Christopher Moret, Chris Lynn on row number 4, and row 5, Dakota Kuhn and Austin O'Neill. As we get set here, Matt, for heat race number 4, another 10-lap heat race, and boy, do I just hope it is as exciting as heat race number 3 was, because that one got me on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, we've been spoiled for sure with the first 3 heat races, and they've been ones to be on the edge of your seat for so far. So these guys got a lot of expectation to live up to here for their heat race.
They absolutely do. As we have taken the one to go to green, lights are out atop the iRacing pace truck. Again, Preston Dalton will be the pole man. Pritchard to his outside. Westfall Kincart on row 2. Young in, I believe, Lynn, or Young in, I believe, Moret, actually. No, it's Young and Kincart. Then it's Lynn and Moret. Man, these guys a little jumbled up right now as we get set for the initial start here. As Dalton looks to send us green out of turn number 4. The 29 checks the belts, fires out of turn 4, and he's got a good jump over the field. As it looked like Pritchard spun the tires there. He'll fall all the way back to 4th here on the start as Dalton leads us down into turn number 2 and down the backstretch for the first time here. And the battle for the transfer spot is hot and heavy right now. Pritchard on the top, trying to take third away from Young, so put Young back to the 4th, the final transfer spot. Now he'll jump all the way into 2nd with a big slide job here in turn number 2, Matt.
Yeah, and Pritchard with the crossover there back into 2nd place coming off of turn 2. And Valdez going to follow suit. Almost claimed the 3rd position just now. Going to settle for that 4th and final transfer.
Yeah, Justin Valadez, or Julian Valadez right now in the 4th spot. Kincart in 5th, Moret in 6th. Westfall in 7th, hemorrhaging spots right now. He's fallen all the way back to 8th. As we look back up into the top 4, your top 4, Matt, starting to spread away from the rest of the field as it is a good gap between Valadez and Kincart.
And Valadez choosing to run that corner cut line. Oh, coming off of turn 4. He almost gets into the left rear of Jack Young coming off of turn 2. Jack Young going to have a good little run coming off of 2.
Yeah, Young right now in 3rd. Valadez, the final transfer spot. Kincart, Moret, Kuhn, and Lynn, the top 8 here. Westfall right now in 9th. Austin O'Neill did not start. He'll get the 10th spot automatically. 4 laps to go here for Preston Dalton. And let's jump on board now with your leader That's not a good one. Let's actually go up here on the nose of this number 29 machine. Let's actually, not the nose. Let's find somewhere we like here. Where should we sit here? Let's sit in the cockpit with him and watch this line that the number 29 is running here with 3 laps to go here at the beautiful Knoxville Raceway. As he arcs it up into turns number 1 and 2, Matt, that has got to be scary as he comes down the front straightaway. Man, you are ripping the lip here at Knoxville. There is no room for a mistake as he starts to get a little squirrely. I better take the camera off of him. He's starting to get nervous because I got the camera on leader Preston Dalton. As we go and look behind him here, no challenge for the 4th spot right now as Valadez has it in his grasp. As it looks like Dakota Kuhn gonna wreck in turn number 3 along with Christopher Lynn. Those two will get it back going as we work on the final lap out of turn number 4. Winner of heat race number 4 will be the number 29 of Preston Dalton. Cameron Pritchard across 2nd. Jack Young across in the 3rd spot. Julian Valadez in 4th. And it's Moret, Kincart, Westfall, and I believe Kuhn and Lynn going to come across here to finish this one out in 8th and 9th in heat race number 4. As I believe, Matt, we now look at our C main for the night here. A 12-lap C main coming up next. Starting on the front row, Josh Piquel and Matthew Westfall. Row number 2, Nicholas McGeethy and Nathan Brown. Row 3, J.D. Myers and Dakota Kuhn. Row 4, Spencer Putney and Justin Z. Row 5, Casey Miller, Christopher Lynn. Row 6, Dustin Sargent alongside, I believe, the 28 of Patrick Spangler. And then 13th to 14th starters, Derek Petiti in the 14 and Austin O'Neill in the number 11 here in tonight's C main event. I want to say what top 4 will transfer over into the A main or into the B main, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So top 4 will transfer into the B main, and then from there, I want to say what top 4, top 6 will transfer into the A main from the B main. So top 8, okay, 8 from the B main will go into the A main, being that we did only run 4 heat races here this evening with the DOB 410 Sprints here, part of the Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals here at the Knoxville Raceway. As we look on from the up-atop view at the beautiful Knoxville Raceway as these guys come around to take the 1 to go to green this time. Matt, we saw 4 very good heat races, and now we are set, or actually 5 very good heat races, excuse me. So they're going to start a lot of guys here tonight. No, wait a minute. Yeah, heat race number 5 was skipped. I was about to say, it showed me that we ran heat 5, but I know we did not. So I will have to take that off of there. So Piquel, Westfall, McGeethy, Brown will be the top 4 here as we get set for an initial start to this C main event.
Pace, excuse me, pace stroke to dip off here, coming off of turn 4. Joshua Piquel gonna step on that pedal on the right. Looks like Westfall's not gonna have a good start at all, as he's gonna fall back to the 4th position. Looks like now he's gonna fall to back even further to 5th.
Yeah, Piquel, your leader, and these guys racing hard right now. As Myers is in 2nd. Make McGeethy the 2nd place man as that bottom looks like it's working here at Knoxville right now. As McGeethy going to drive all the way to the lead. Put Piquel now back to 3rd. As Myers on the bottom will take that spot away. Piquel going to regain it at the line. Putney right now in the 4th and final transfer spot. That it's Westfall and Petiti battling for 5th and 6th. Nathan Brown, Justin Z, Sargent, and Spangler round out the top 10 right now as we take the cameras back up front. McGeethy leads, battle for 2nd still rages on with 3 drivers trying to take it here, Matt.
at the three-way battle for second here's been getting a little dicey. They keep trying to go three wide as it looks like they're going to coming off of turn 4. But Mikhail's going to stay out in the lead. So you're going to have a little bit of a slider from Putney there. Now they're going to go single file.
They are single file over into turns 3 and 4. Petiti, the first guy on the outside, looking in as he's trying to track down at least J.D. Myers as he runs in fourth. 7 laps to go here in the C main event. Remember, top 4 to the B main. McGeethy, solid lead, 1.5 seconds right now for McGeethy over Piquel. And then we go back to the 4th place guy. There's J.D. Myers, and there's Derek Petiti trying to run him down. Nathan Brown currently 6th. Let's see if we got any movers or shakers right now. Is Dustin Sargent. He's +4 since the start of this. Remember, he had some bad luck in the first heat races. He's up to 7th. He's got to get all the way into the top 4 here with just 6 laps to go. As leader McGeethy still adding to his lead over Josh Piquel, who is up on the top of the speedway, as it looks like we've got our first lap car. I believe that's Christopher Lynn here. Casey Miller is off of the speedway. As Lynn racing up there with your leaders, he is a lap down. As everybody pretty much, Matt, looks like they're on the bottom right now with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, the field's getting a little spread out here. Closest battle you got right now is Nathan Brown and Dustin Sargent. Dustin Sargent's trying to charge around the bottom of the 35 machine. They're going to go 3 wide now with Petiti. Going off of turn 2. They're catching up with the 21 of J.D. Myers here. I'm not sure if they have enough laps to catch up and get around them for that final transfer.
Absolutely. Looks like an incident back there with Patrick Spangler as he'll crash his number 28 machine as McGeethy takes the white flag here. We're going to watch your leader, Nicholas McGeethy, down the back chute for the final time as the rest of the field takes their white flag over into turns 1 and 2. 2.2 seconds is the gap, and Nicholas McGeethy will be the first one to transfer into the B main event here tonight as Piquel going to be putting it to the line, and it looks like J.D. Myers will finish in the 4th and final transfer spot. Derek Petiti, Nathan Brown, Matt Westfall, Justin Z, and I'm not sure exactly what happened to Dustin Sargent there as he ends up in the pits here coming to the checkered flag. Once again, top 4 and transferring into the B, J.D. Myers, Spencer Putney, Josh Piquel, and your winner, the 173 of Nicholas McGeethy. And your B main event, 14 cars, top 8 transfer into tonight's A main event. To round out a 24 car starting field. Zach Dykstra, the point man, he'll be in car number 19. Outside of him will be the 15 of Michael Sheridan. Row number 2 inside it'll be the 38 of Kevin Fry. Outside the 7 of Chris Morant. Row number 3 inside it'll be the current only world-class driver in this lobby, part of the Black Bumper Brigade, the Canadian number 112, Alex Bergeron. Outside of him, starting 6th, will be the 10 machine. He was 2nd quick in qualifying, Ryan Scheidt. Starting 7th, Josh Cotton. 8th, Clayton Carton. 9th will be Josh Berkey. 10th will be Kevin Kleck, Nicholas McGeethy, Joshua Piquel, J.D. Myers, and Spencer Putney will round it out here. Those drivers made it in through the C main event. So, Matt, this is tricky because you've got a 12-lap B main. You've got a Pro Series driver. You got a lot of really good DOB guys. Top 8 to the show. That means 4 guys are going to watch the main event from the trailer.
Sounds like we got some hard racing coming up in our future.
We absolutely do here. This one is for all the marbles to make the main here on 410 Nationals night number 2. As we tune in to the field here, Dykstra and Sheridan side by side, taking the one to go to green last time by. Who's your money on, race fans watching at home? Will it be Dykstra? Will it be Sheridan? Will it be Bergeron or anybody else from this field who will win this B main and put themselves into a decent starting position for tonight's 25-lap A main here at the Knoxville Raceway as Dykstra and Sheridan work over into turns 3 and 4 here, coming to the green flag this time. It will be 12 laps the distance, top 8 to the show, and the green flag is out.
Green, 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 green.
Hot and heavy off the start here. Fry gonna lose a bunch of positions. Kevin Fry, tough break as he'll fall all the way back to the 8th and final transfer spot here on the start. Alex Bergeron already up to 2nd. Zachary Dykstra, your leader. Michael Sheridan back to 3rd. Scheid in 4th. Moret and Cotton, Clayton Kinkart, and now Kevin Click into the top 8 as we're going to watch this battle for the 8th and final transfer spot. As behind these guys, 3 and 4 wide is the name of the game here in Knoxville as they race over in turn number 2. Still Kevin Click, the final transferee. Pakel trying to run him down here in the number 33.
Yeah, Pakel sticking to the high side there, as now looks like he's actually going to switch it up to the bottom. Click going to get around Kinkart. Now Kinkart there on the bubble and being threatened by the 33 machine of Pakel. Pakel going to be able to get on to his inside going into turn 1 on lap 5. He's able to come away with that final transfer position.
Yeah, we're looking back up front as Alex Bergeron takes the race lead away from Zach Dykstra. Moving back a little ways, Michael Sheridan in a tight battle here with Joshua Cotton. That's for positions 4 and 5. Cotton going to take the 4th spot on the inside here for the time being. 15 working back to the outside is Michael Sheridan, trying to take it back away from him. Sheridan in the 15 will now fall in line. The next guy back is Chris Moret. Then it's Kevin Click and Josh Pakel, currently 7th and 8th. With Spencer Putney, the first guy on the outside looking in. And don't look now, but here comes Nicholas McGeethy, who came in through the C-main and remember dominated the C-main. He is now up into the 10th spot. So we've still got 7 laps remaining, Matt, to determine who's going to take that final transfer spot, as Pakel has Putney breathing down his neck and Putney has McGeethy breathing down his neck.
McGeethy showed us that the bottom was the way to go in the C. Now he showed us that the bottom's the way to go in the B. He's working on inside of Kevin Click, of Spencer Putney, but just not able to get it. Putney now going to swing it out wide coming out of turn 4. And McGeethy going to be able to get that inside line. He's going to have the momentum coming off of turn 2. McGeethy up to the 9th position.
Yeah, it sure was the right line there for Nicholas McGeethy. Just 4 laps to go. Let's take a look at the guys up front here. Bergeron has a 3-second advantage. There's no stopping Alex Bergeron right now. Let's go back to Dykstra. He's got about a 1.5 seconds over Scheid. It's about 3 car lengths back to Josh Cotton. Those two battling hard. As look way up on the top side, Chris Moret was beaten down the wall here at Knoxville as he's pulling up to the back bumper of Michael Sheridan. Click in 7th, Pakel in 8th, and McGeethy's knocking on Pakel's door here in Knoxville with just 2 laps to go.
Don't look now, but Spencer Putney has got that top side absolutely rolling. He's been flying these past couple laps up. There's that.
Yellow,
There he
big
goes.
caution.
Ooh, yellow.
Big caution. Big caution. Oh, glad nobody got collected in that. Could have been worse than what it was.
Looks like, I believe, Michael Sheridan is the guy here. Let's see. Yes, it was Michael Sheridan as he got pulled up on by the 31. And, yeah, just kind of turned there. Sheridan wasn't carrying a bunch of speed. 31 machine gets him. As that looks like it was Christopher Moret. So Moret going to collect Sheridan there, put him to the tail. So Sheridan will have to try to do this the long way with a green-white checkered to a finish here in the B main. It's Bergeron, Dykstra, Scheid, Cotton, the top 3, I believe. Or the top 4, excuse me. Bergeron, Dykstra, Scheid, Cotton, the top 4. Click, Pakel, McGeethy, and Putney, the top 8 set for this restart. And you were saying it, Spencer Putney had the top side rolling here at Knoxville for a moment and he's going to luck up and be awarded the 8th spot here on this restart. So he's going to have to get back up there on the top and make sure he can maintain that 8th spot here with just 2 laps to go in the B main event, as it looks like these guys will be forced to restart single file as well, as everybody's chasing the original fast time setter. After he had some bad luck in his heat race, he has fought back in this B main event. Alex Bergeron is putting on a master class. He had, Matt, over 4 seconds of an advantage over second place Dykstra there before that caution flag flew. He was well on his way to securing this B main win.
Yeah, and Alex Bergeron's always going to be fast no matter what he's in. So good run for him in his B main, and he's going to be one to watch for sure when feature time comes around, if he's able to hopefully transfer out of this.
Green, green, green.
Which, judging by that last run, he should be. He's going to take off here and going to run that top side in 1 and 2. He's going to pull off from the 18 car there.
Absolutely, and I do have to apologize to the guy that was in the last race, Patetti there. Sorry about that, buddy. I didn't mean to butcher your last name. It's just the first time I've ever seen it. As we continue on here with the white flag coming to the checkered Bergeron. I believe we'll win it here. Scheid second, Dykstra third, Cotton fourth. Pakel will finish 6th. Click, I believe, finished in the 5th spot. Let's actually pull back up those B main results here and look at who all transferred into tonight's A main event here at the Knoxville Raceway. Alex Bergeron, your winner, of course. Ryan Scheit, Zach Dykstra, Josh Cotton, Kevin Click, Josh Pakel, Nicholas McGeethy, and Spencer Putney transfer into the 25-lap A main. Josh Berkey, Michael Sheridan, J.D. Myers, Clayton Kincart, Kevin Fry, and Christopher Moret will end up watching from the trailer here. Unfortunate for those guys, but Matt, it's time. We've been waiting on this all night long. A big 25-lap main event coming up here at the Knoxville Raceway. As we pull up tonight's starting grid here for the A main. As it will be, Matt. 24 drivers, 25 laps, points on the line here towards Thursday night's final events. Sean English will be the man on the point. Matt Grimm will start 2nd. Josh Whiteman will start 3rd. Preston Dalton will start 4th. Jeff Creamer will start 5th. Chris Fitz will start 6th. Tyler Eisley will start 7th. Cameron Pritchard will start in 8th. 9th will be Brad Lamberson. 10th, Brian Moore. 11th, Chance Siskowski. 12th will be Jack Young as we continue to move back here. Starting 13th will be Jimmy Barr. 14th, Craig Silby. 15th, Darren Detweiler. 16th, Julian Valadez. 17th starter will be your B-main winner, Alex Bergeron. Then your rest of your B-main transfers, Ryan Scheit starting 18th. Zach Dykstra starting 19th. 20th starter, Josh Cotton. 21st, Kevin Click. 22nd, Josh Pakel. 23rd, your C-main winner, getting all the way to the A-main event, the 173 of Nick McGeethy. And your 24th and final starter here for night number 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals, Spencer Putney in the 217 here on qualifying at night number 2. As it looks like everybody's still in the staging lane awaiting the go signal here to exit the pits onto the speedway. As now it looks like everybody going to come on out here as we watch from the top down here at the Knoxville Raceway. Matt, can I just mention how much fun this has been to, of course, be back on the call for DOB? As bad as I've been tonight, and I apologize to everybody for that, it is such an honor to have Chris reach out to us and ask us to come on here for night number 2. Of course, night number 3 will go back to its original broadcaster. He was unable to do night number 2, but it was much obliged to step in here tonight and take over night number 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals from the Knoxville Raceway. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you keep up with all of our TDTV broadcasts here. As, Matt, it looks like we get set to take a green flag here for night number 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals for your 25-lap feature.
These guys go bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel, waiting for that leader, Sean English, to hit that throttle. And now he's going to do so. He's off to a good lead here. Going to choose to stay at the bottom. Going to leave the top open for Matt Grimm there. But he doesn't need it. Sean English going to stay in the lead coming out of turn 4. Complete lap 1.
Absolutely. As Whiteman's up to third, let's now take the cameras back towards the mid-pack here as we've got a bunch of guys moving and shaking as it looks like Brian Moore going to jumble the field up. Somehow we stay green. As we've got even more guys getting together here, that's definitely going to be a caution possibly as Dykstra and Valadez come to a stop. No caution flag. We stay green flag racing here at Knoxville. As your leaders were approaching these cars as the fireworks still going off. English, your leader now, 22 laps to go. As I believe Whiteman up to third, Pritchard in fourth, Fritz in fifth. Bergeron, Matt, already plus 11 into sixth, now making fifth.
Yeah, Alex Bergeron absolutely on the move here as he is following Cameron Pritchard, who has found that top line there, as he's able to find his way around the 24 of Josh Whiteman. Bergeron going to run that reverse slider line, going to tuck in behind Pritchard. And it looks like he might be able to clear Whiteman for the 4th position this lap. Further back in the field for 8th. Got a little bit of contact.
Yellow flag is out.
Yep, there's your caution.
There's the caution.
Tell you what, that was timing. We both went to that at the same exact time.
Absolutely, man. We both noticed that some trickery was going on at the back end, and Darren Detweiler takes a spin there as we've already completed 7 of 25 laps so far. 18 will remain here as it's a tough break here for Darren Detweiler as he is the caution car. English was your leader, though. Grimm was second. Pritchard, Bergeron, and Whiteman, the top 5 as we sit here at the Knoxville Raceway. Good race so far. Lots of 2 and 3 wide racing action. These guys really hammering the cushion here at Knoxville so far. Some guys on the bottom able to make up some spots, but right now that top side just seems to be the place to be, Matt.
Yeah, the bottom was showing a little bit of speed there in the C and B mains, but right now, like you said, it just looks like that top side's got a little bit more momentum coming off the corner. Looks like those guys are getting a little bit more top end, getting into the corner. So just not much you can do on the bottom right now. You can see it's starting to get black and slick right now.
Absolutely, Matt. I couldn't have put it any better myself. Track starting to slick off there at the bottom, and you see that black groove working its way up the racetrack. And we're looking for this place by the end of this 25 laps. It's going to be pretty much as black as it gets, as slicked off as it gets. These guys really going to be having some multi-groove racing by the end of this thing, I'm almost sure of. As Sean English, the green flag, going to wave as he gets a really good start here over Matt Grimm, and we're back underway with 18 laps to go.
things getting a little interesting for second, but Matt Grimm gonna take the position coming out of turn 2. Bergeron gonna try to reverse slider line, and he's gonna make it stick into that second position. He is absolutely on a mission here tonight.
Absolutely. As the cushion continues to build up there in turns 1 and 2, it's already there in turns 3 and 4. As he's up on the top, Grimm's up on the top. Everybody all the way back to, I believe, the 24 of Whiteman on the top. As he continues to work the bottom, he'll look to slide up, but he'll stick it on the bottom once again. As the 21 of Pritchard hard into the wall, he'll somehow hold on to it and not flip that machine, but he will be back in the 5th spot here. Lamberson currently up to 6th. Fritz in 7th. Siskowski, Young, and Barr, your top 10. With Kevin Click taking that 10th spot right now as he'll slide up, not quite in front of the 12 machine of Jimmy Barr. Barr will take back his rightful 10th spot. With now the 17, here comes Putney on the bottom. Slide job clears the 25 of Click. As these guys racing hard back here, 10th on back. It's a hornet's nest of cars right now at Knoxville with 14 laps to go.
Yeah, these guys back here going 3 wide, 4 wide. Shoot, they look like they're trying to go 5 wide sometimes, but everybody able to keep it clean and able to keep it off of each other. So good racing thus far, but looks like Kevin Click is going to hold on to that 11th position.
Oh, big wreck, turn 3. Yep, we got a flipper. Not the Dolphin, the race car. We got a flipper over in turn number 3. It's Craig Silby up and over multiple times. His wing will fall off, and he is now driving a wingless 410 sprint car as he pulls it back to the pits here. Caution with 11 laps to go, Matt, as soon as I take the cameras over towards Craig Silby, the Aussie in the number 18. He goes up and over multiple times there as we look to rewind just enough to have the replay. It's McGeethy inside. They collect each other up into the wall and over about 4 times there for the 18 of Craig Silby. As we look back in live as he gets some damage repaired. As we look over at your race leader, Sean English. Bergeron will be 2nd. Grimm 3rd. Whiteman 4th. Pritchard rounds out the top 5 here, I believe, with 16 of 24 still running on the speedway. Dykstra at one point was looking like he was making some moves. He's already going to be plus spots just by the basis that he started towards the rear after advance again through the B main event. As English will come around, I believe it's going to be 1 to go to green for Sean English, car number 60, your race leader. This next time by, 1 to go to green. Man, oh man, we might be a little bit rusty, Matt, but I do have to say I am having a blast here at Knoxville tonight. We are definitely a little rusty, so again, apologies to anybody watching out there who is either not enjoying our commentary or whatever the case may be. We're trying to get back into the swing of things. Of course, I will be on the call for a series brought to you by, I believe, a couple of podcasts, the Bubba's About Broke podcast, as well as the Chicken Bone Alley podcast. That starts here in just a couple of weeks. But tonight we're focused on the DOB 410s as we bring you night 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals. Screen flag back in the air. English resumes as your race leader here with 11 laps to go. Bergeron trying to chase him down. Grimm and Whiteman back to battle for the 3rd spot. Pritchard rides in 5th. Lamberson up to 6th. He'll retake it over the 65 of Chris Fitz. Fritz back to the outside. Will, I believe, still have that 7th spot at the line as Lamberson able to hold some momentum down there on the bottom, Matt, as we get back to 3 and 4 wide racing from 10th on back. These guys racing hard to try and make up some points ahead of Thursday's big feature.
Cameron Pritchard finally able to work his way around the 24 machine of Josh Whiteman. So now Pritchard currently riding in the 4th position as Alex Bergeron's right on Sean English's rear bumper. Not quite enough, close enough to make a move, but he's right there. If Sean English makes a mistake, he will take over the lead.
Absolutely. English, though, looking like he is not going to, but he'll go down low. Bergeron trying to reel in the gap a little bit. Still 0.4 of a second that time by. 7 laps to go. Down to 0.3 of a second here down the back straightaway for English over Bergeron. It'll hop right back up to 0.5 as English has a really good corner there. Grimm in third. Fourth is Pritchard. Whiteman, Fritz, Putney as we got a battle behind these guys. Jack Young, Brad Lamberson, Darren Detweiler, all three in the mix here for a top 10 spot. As we go back up front, English are your leader. 6 laps to go this time. Make it 5 at the line for the number 60.
Well, I'm starting to think, did Bergeron use up his right rear tire too much?
You never know with that new tire model, Matt.
I mean, he's still right there on the leader, Sean English, so he might could be saving something for the last 2 laps. You never know. Lap 22 out of 25 here. Still got a little bit of time left.
Absolutely. There's still 4 laps to go as we were watching some guys race towards that 10th place spot. Detweiler, Young, Lamberson, Barr. All these guys were 2 and 3 wide for a minute as we go back up into the top 5. Pritchard solo in 4th. Putney out in front of Whiteman as Putney's up into the top 5. How about this, Matt? Plus 19 for Spencer Putney. Now plus 16 for Alex Bergeron as we've got a new leader.
Slide job from Alex Bergeron in 1 and 2 for the lead there. He's able to come away with the lead, though. Sean English able to cross over, but Bergeron with another slide job with Joshua Piquel there.
Well, he's doing it on the white flag lap as Piquel gives him a pick.
Bergeron's going to use him as a pick there.
But English slides him in turn number 4. Bergeron back down the bottom. Crossover. Bergeron wins night number 2 with the DOB 410 Nationals. English second. Grimm third. Pritchard 4th. Putney 5th. Whiteman 6th. Fritz 7th. Siskowski 8th. Young 9th. Detweiler 10th. But the big story, Alex Bergeron using Josh Piquel as a pick there, going into turn number 1 to take the race lead, and all he had to do was cross over English, who attempted a slide job over in turn number 3. He pulled it off flawlessly, and Alex Bergeron, like you said, Matt, was definitely saving his stuff for the last couple of laps as he picks up a win here on night number 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals, brought to you by Natural Carbon Company.
And what a race by these guys that they put on tonight. I mean, it, like I said, it come down to the wire.
Absolutely came down to the wire there as Bergeron set him up perfectly as we await your race winner to hop into the Discord channel with us here, hop into the broadcast booth here in just a moment. But man, he set English up perfectly there using the lap car, Josh Piquel, as a pick to get by him and put English in a really bad spot there at the very end of the race to have to throw a haymaker of a slide job. He threw it, but Bergeron had all the time in the world to get back to the bottom of the racetrack and circle right back around him to take tonight's A-Main event win. As we'll now pull him up and bring him on into the broadcast booth with us here. Tonight's A-Main winner, Alex Bergeron. Alex, tremendous finish to that race there. We said it with about 5 laps to go that it looked like you were sort of saving your stuff riding there behind Sean for a little while. And then I guess the perfect circumstances there to take you plus 16 on the night there, as Piquel gives you a little bit of a pick to really fend off that last lap charge from English there.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Very happy with the result. Started further back since we had a few issues in the heat race, unfortunately. But that's racing. So, we did the best we could and got to the front early and made some great moves and put ourselves in the great positions. And here we are, on top of the podium here.
Absolutely. A driver who's been there, done that, sets you up nicely. And as far as the points go here for getting to that Thursday night feature here with DOB. So got to be happy with taking the win no matter what you had to do to get there. you dang sure got there, and in very fine fashion, becoming, I believe, you were just about the hard charge as well. So, man, you were a joy to watch. But, Alex, go ahead and thank all the sponsors on that number 12 machine. Anybody else that deserves some love for this win here tonight at Knoxville?
Yeah, like you said, all of our partners, also our Team ABR Esports. Definitely got to thank Aiden Beerline for everything he does for the team and helping me out get set up for the race tonight and getting ready for this race. So couldn't have been possible without him. So got to thank him for that. And hopefully we have a good position to start on Thursday and see what we can do then. So thank you guys for broadcasting and DOB for putting this up for us to race.
Absolutely. Alex, once again, congratulations. And, hey, we'll be sitting there cheering you on when it comes to time on Thursday.
Thank you.
So that was tonight's race winner, Mr. Alex Bergeron. Next up, we'll drag him on in here. Tonight's second place finisher led all but the final lap, the number 60 of Sean English. And Sean, even though you finished second here, nothing to hang your head about as you'll get a really good points night out of this. But, man, talk to me about those last couple of laps. It just looked like everything played perfectly for into Alex's plan there, but you still salvaged a second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a heartbreaker with no mirrors, and he had a spotter, I didn't. I had no clue where he was running behind me. I was just looking at the racetrack and taking a wild guess, hoping that I could hit the lane right. And I feel like those last 5 laps, it was a mixture of him being a tiny bit faster and me making some mistakes. I'm not super I'm pretty new to the sprint car game. I've only been in it for about a year, going against somebody who's been one of the best from the starts. I was making mistakes, and he was able to get me in the last lap.
Well, the way it looks right now, though, you'll definitely have a chance at making that show on Thursday night and mixing it up with these guys again. But, man, it all comes down to it. The lap car there at the very end really puts you in a bit of a pickle, no pun intended. I mean, what kind of went through your head when all that went down there on the white flag lap?
Well, I knew he had the momentum going into 1, so I figured that there was a slider coming. I was working the cut down lane in 3 and 4 all night long, but I never really had a chance to try it in 1 and 2. So I hoped and prayed and committed to it on the final lap, doing the cut down in 1 and 2. And that lap car was just in the perfect spot where if I would have went above him, I would have hit a slick patch and it would have been my race over. So I committed to going below him, put 2 tires up on the apron, and just went for the slider and hope it stuck.
Absolutely. Well, hey, it stuck. Unfortunately for you, Alex was able to get back around, but a second place finish here tonight is just as good, man. I tell you that. Go ahead, shout out any sponsors on that number 60. Anybody else that deserves some love here for this podium finish at Knoxville.
Gotta thank RaceCPI.com. I'm the builder for the sprint cars over there. I feel like we've got a really good piece. Gotta thank everybody at Florida Shocks, Sean English Racing. Dustin Sargent, he caught a really tough break. He was leading Heat 1. Probably would have had a shot at making it, but ended up getting wrecked. And I think that's about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do on Thursday night.
Absolutely, Sean. Well, congratulations on your podium finish here tonight out of night 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals, and we look forward to cheering you on Thursday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that is your top 2. Let's now have a word with third place finisher here, solid the entire 25-lap feature, Mr. Matt Grimm. Matt started second there in this feature. You know you had some heavy hitters coming up through the field, but you had that number 91 rocking and rolling there, man. Just holding down that third spot all night long there. Very solid performance out of your 91 crew.
Yeah, I don't know what the gap was, but I was just, every lap I was waiting on someone to come, and no one ever did except Alex on that restart. And I mean, you can't complain about being beat by Alex. I mean, he's one of the best on this game, so.
Absolutely, but this really sets you up nicely. A great points night here on night number 2. Hopefully, getting you up there in that top 16 to lock into the big show on Thursday. And if you do get there, I mean, dude, great run here I mean, just kind of talk to me about this a little bit, because like you said, you were just waiting on somebody to come. The gap to the next guy back to you about 0.5 of a second there. So really can't take anything away from that number 91 here tonight. That thing had a ton of speed.
Yeah, we had the top working pretty good. I made some adjustments from Sunday, and it really helped out a lot. I just need a little bit looser on exit, and I think we'll be one of the top cars. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Hopefully we get into the top 16. That's going to be a big deal if we can.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, from your podium finish here tonight, who deserves some love? Shout out to any sponsors that you want to thank for supporting you here tonight at Knoxville.
Yeah, I got to thank everybody over at YOB Racing that helps me out. Blocky, Sean, just all of them guys. And Speed Factory, LCJ Carpentry, Catalysm Computers, Stingray Rock Tools Australia, King Race Designs, and a shout out to Derek for being my voice in my ears all night.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, congratulations here. Podium finish for night 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals. And we look forward to seeing you make that show on Thursday. And we look forward to cheering you on from the spectators booth.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your top 3 finishers. One last look at the feature results here on your screen. Bergeron, your winner. English second. Grimm third. Then it was Pritchard, Putney, Whiteman, Fritz, Siskowski, Young, and Detweiler, your top 10. And it was Jimmy Barr, Brad Lamberson, Zach Dykstra, Kevin Klick, Josh Cotton, Nick McGeethy, Josh Paquel, Jeff Creamer, the top 18. Final couple of finishers here. 19th was Craig Selby, 20th Tyler Eisley, 21st Brian Moore, 22nd Preston Dalton, 23rd Julian Valadez, and 24th Ryan Scheit on the field here. That rounded out the 24-car starting field. So it has been fun here. Matt, I appreciate you for coming in on this at short notice. We had a lot of fun here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. What did you think, man, getting back into sprint cars here on TDTV?
Oh, yeah, man. Had a blast. These cars, like I said, fast and light. So put on some good racing tonight.
Absolutely. Well, race fans, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the broadcast here on the TDTV YouTube. Make sure that you have liked this video. You're subscribed down below. We won't be back tomorrow night. That'll be moved back to a different streaming platform. So I guess we would like to say thank you to Mr. Chris Roberts for having us here for night 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals from the Knoxville Raceway. But we will be back here on TDTV in just a couple of weeks at the start of the Fall Spectacular, brought to you by the Bubba's Bout Bro Racing podcast, as well as our friends over at Chicken Bone Alley. But for TDTV and for my co-host, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, my name's been Ryan Williams. This has been night number 2 of the DOB 410 Nationals here at the Knoxville Raceway. We will catch you guys all soon, as we'll be back in just a couple of weeks.